Howdy guys, Gnoblar here. Just another update video for you on the Eldar Revenant Titan kind of build series that I've been doing for you. So I've been away, it's been a few weeks since I've posted any videos. Work's been a bit crazy and I've had some other commitments that I've been doing and spending my spare time on. So the Titan has slowed down a bit, but I've made some progress, as you'll see. So just to guide you through what's happened in the past couple of weeks, you can see that the legs are actually glued on fully now, as opposed to being separate to the drop pod and feet. I've also put the pelvis on, and so this is one piece that joins the legs, and then the torso sits on top of the pelvis, and you can change the angle and have it leaning a bit forward or a bit back. So they're all glued together, and I've also changed the angle of the drop pod a little bit. I thought it was not quite steep enough, so I've made it a bit steeper. But as well as gluing them on, the glue I use is quite strong stuff. It's I will plug them actually because it's really good. They are called filler glue, and I believe they're based in the UK, somewhere down south in the UK. I think Beasts of War use them as well, or have done. And for some reason, the bond just seems really strong. I know they use a recipe for the glue, which includes some kind of polymer, some rubberized polymer, I think, which means the glue can bend a little bit. Not massive, you won't see it bending, but on a molecular level, it just means it doesn't snap straight away. It got a bit of flex in it, so it can take a bit more stress. I believe is how it works. I could be completely off, but anyway, that's bygones. So a couple of things you'll note, as well as everything being kind of glued together, there's loads more holes in the thing, because as I showed you in the last video, pinning the legs through the knee, so those are ready to accept a load bearing pin. I've also drilled through the feet into the drop pod, so on both of them, you can see the other hole there. That'll keep the feet in the position on the drop pod, so they're not going to slip off or anything. There's 2 pins in each ankle, both kind of going down into the foot. And I get the same again on this one. There's one hole, and then on the other side. So they're like the ankle joints, making sure the feet stay secure to the lower legs. Obviously, we covered the knee in a previous video. The pelvis joint, which is this one here, which looks kind of like almost like a W kind of thing. 2 ball joints from the legs go into that. That's a pain. That was a pain to do because I needed to be kind of Dr. Octopus and have about 8 hands to hold everything steady whilst it glued, but got there eventually. And again, once that was glued in, on the back here there's 2 holes. The centre hole is to take an armour plate, so ignore that. The 2 holes on either side of it are drilling into the ball for each leg. So I'm going to put a pin in there, so the pelvis is joined to each leg by a pin, so hopefully they're not going anywhere either. And then there's the torso that sits on top of the pelvis, which is this joint with the big green blob on top of it, and we'll get to that in a minute. So I've had that leaning forward, because again I wanted to show the kind of the angle of the model leaning forward, going down the hill almost. So that was cool. That's glued on, and I'll pin that as well. But what I've done on top of there, if I can get the focus to work, is I've green stuffed a huge magnet, well, huge in terms of miniatures. Anyway, if I'll get one out, hopefully, making a noise whilst I do it. There. Now I believe that is 12 mil, so just over a centimetre across, and like 4 mil deep, 3 mil deep. So it's like I physically can't take them apart with one hand. They're really powerful, and they've got some kind of plastic separators to help you take them apart. Still can't take them apart. So what I've done there's one on top of there, and it's glued and green stuff down to the top of their torso, and then there's one of those plastic separators on top. There's actually 1.5, so that I can get a bit of an angle. Again, help it lean forward even more. And those separators are there because there's another one, another magnet, glued into the bottom of the torso. What I did there, I used a saw to take the top off of that and make it flat and glue the magnet on it. and then I drilled out the bottom of the torso so that I could countersink a magnet in there. Made sure that they were the right polarity and they would attract each other, not repel each other. And again, green stuffed it in, glued it in, and put a plastic separator on top. So there's two, really, plastic separators between these magnets, and even then, they're pretty powerful to take apart. So the idea of the separators is that the magnets don't get as close as they'd like to, so the attraction between them isn't quite as strong as if there weren't any separators, if they were touching each other. The closer a magnet gets to another magnet, the more the strength of the attraction gets greater. So if I can separate them, then it's easier to take it apart. And you can see, even with the separators in place, they're giving it a bit of a lean forward angle, which I wanted, but they're also, get the focus, I can still pick it up. The magnets are so strong I can still pick it up by the top, twist it, it's not going anywhere. So they're really powerful magnets, really good. So that's pretty much where I've got to. The neck's gone onto the body, which is this kind of circular section. That'll accept the head, and then these two arm ball joins. The arms will go in the socket, and then there's an armour plate which will sit on there over the arm. So that's where I've got to, really. That's been about 2 days' work since I last spoke to you in the last videos. So hopefully got a bit more motivation to keep building the Titan. It's taking shape now. I can see it. There's not that many pieces left, really. A couple of armour plates, the guns, the back hollow fin, and then the jetpacks, really. There's not much else to do after that. So, and then it'll be basing and painting. So if you guys have got any questions on how I've been doing things, or the techniques I've used, or how I intend to paint it, or anything like that, just drop me a line. I'll try my best to answer your questions. Hopefully you agree it's coming along quite nicely. It's nice to see it taking shape and that it looks like a Titan now, rather than just a bunch of legs and a drop pod. And just to give you some scale, you can see the tanks in the background, but I'll bring them on the same plane as the Titan. So there's a normal GW Carnifex. Obviously, Titan looks a bit bigger because it's on the drop pod, but you get the idea. It'll probably come up to its knee usually, and then again a Land Raider. So it's a pretty beefy model. It's tall and spindly, as you can see, but it is impressive. I do like it. I can't wait to kind of move up and upgrade onto the Phantom build, because that thing, I don't know if that thing's going to actually fit in my little corner, to be honest. The sloping ceiling, I might have to upgrade my workbench, which I'm sure the missus will be happy about, but hey ho. So yeah, that's the video. I'll try not to ramble anymore. I'll shut up and give you a bit of a 360 view so far. And again, one of the advantages of it being a magnet is the legs are obviously glued in position, but if I can have it posing and turning to the right and taking some shots, or turning to the left and looking at what's going on over there, or just looking straight at you, just depending, it just gives me some flexibility, I suppose. So again, there's loads of little armour plates to go on the back, one on there and one on the front on his groin, so plenty to still get on with, but like I say, really happy that it's starting to take form. So good to speak to you guys. Hope you're enjoying the series so far, and hopefully not too long before another update video. Hope you guys are doing okay. Take care. See you soon.